Howdy, y'all. Let's do what we do. Boom! Alright, let's kill the music. We got enough people in. Howdy, y'all. How are y'all doing today? By the way, we all know I am the Voodoo Review. Welcome. Welcome, one and all. Luckily, we got to see a little bit of Skip yesterday. So good to see him back on the airwaves. At least it lets us know that he's alive and well. Keeps Steph from freaking out too much. It's a balmy little 94 degrees outside here in the Houston with about 90% humidity. Feels like somebody is literally breathing on your neck, but not just breathing, but mouth breathing. Yeah, so much fun. Tolerable though, tolerable. It's not August yet. In case y'all are wondering, yes, I am using his iCar punch. Yes, it is old. Yes, it still works just fine. Loading up to go to the lake. Cliff, I am doing excellent. Todd, howdy sir. Todd Arnold. So glad to see Todd here. And of course, Steph and Cliff, and I know we're gonna have some more people coming on in. It's all good. Ganji, howdy sir. How is Nebraska? Hopefully it's a little bit cooler, or at least less humid than it is right now here in the Houston area. Now granted, Nick Piper, howdy sir. Granted, I'm going to say this, and not everybody's going to agree with me. Houston is not the hottest place in the United States. Not even the hottest place in North America. But we consistently have such heat and humidity that the normal, average, everyday person, if they fly into Houston and they step off of that plane and that heat and humidity hits them square in the face, the first words out of their mouth tends to be, "Oh hell." I have been in Vegas where it's been 120 degrees and it still felt better than 98 degrees here in Houston because of the lack of humidity. Oh man, Ganji, you're having a glorious day. Glorious. I would love to see 85 with no humidity and a nice breeze here in Houston. Right now, the only breeze I'm feeling is the breeze I'm getting as sweat trickles down my back. Yeah, it's like that. I'm not close enough to water that it's going to be abated by some sort of a nice breeze across the water. And I'm too far away from anything that's going to create any kind of a nice breeze anyways. So it's just a stagnant, steady yuck. But that's okay. I can handle it. Well, hopefully, those of you up there in Jonesboro can enjoy that little bit of breeze that's coming off of wherever and spend that time in the lake wisely. Having actually been to Jonesboro, I'm pretty certain I know which lake you're going to. And yes, I've been to Jonesboro. I really have. Had a couple of dozen boilers and pressure vessels that needed inspection. If that fly gets around here cold enough, I'm going to get him. Nick, I think that you're lying. It's not cold. It's just cool compared to those 100 and something degree temperatures y'all had recently. Greer's Ferry, yeah, I've been to Greer's Ferry. And Norfolk, yep, been right through there. There's one side of a lake, and the main route goes right along the south side of the lake. And I'm telling you, the scenery out there was just beautiful. And then it was out back, lost in the sticks. I mean, you'd be driving along this lake and it was just such a beautiful sight, and you got all this scenery, and then for about 2 miles you would see stuff that looks like Children of the Corn meets trailer park trash. And you just gotta wonder, what in the hell happened? And then it goes back to beautiful scenery again. It's the weirdest thing. $16 in Celsius, not a problem. I'm sure that most of us can figure it out if we really need to. North Central Arkansas. Sounds about right. Probably Norfolk Lake then. I remember having to go from the University of Arkansas, where the Razorbacks are, pretty much right across the top of the state. That winding route, you know the one I'm talking about. But I had to go all the way across the state, pretty much right there along the top. So we went from I went from University of Arkansas over to Jonesboro, and then right over to the other edge, where if I turned north, I'd have been going into Missouri. But you turn south and you head towards West Memphis. Tell you what, there's also the plant somewhere right there along that strip after you turn south. that makes all of the hot dog casings that are produced inside the United States. All of them. As you can see, the smoke is just lingering. There is no wind here. I'm not trying to pull anybody's leg on this. This is just one of those hot, humid, stagnant, oppressive days. I love it. Gets me in the mood for summer. There is a tiny little bit of a breeze. There's also a big ass black bee that's hanging around out over here. So if you see me suddenly start kung fu fighting, it's not because I'm copying Cliff. It's because, well, I'm trying to survive. Steph's been painting. That's always a good thing. What were you painting on, Steph? Was it canvas, or was it like your miniatures, or I'm always interested. Y'all do know, if you want me to talk about something, go ahead and mention it. We'll discuss it. Canvas and acrylic. That sounds very interesting. At some point in time, I need to go ahead and take pictures of the paintings that my mother-in-law has done so I can show y'all. A steampunk pipe smoker. Huh. That sounds very metal. Are we... Well, let's rephrase that. Cliff, are you going to be able to attend a certain auction that's going to be later today? I hear Mr. J. Mouton has some special stuff in store. But if you're going to be hanging with the family, it's going to be kind of hard to bid on stuff without getting killed. I mean, while you're at the lake. But hey, that just means that I've got a better chance of winning something. No, I don't.
I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and then I'm gonna go take a shower so we can go. I'll just come back and clock back in. Technically been off the clock. I've technically been allowed to be off the clock since 1.
I might be having to cut this feed very short.
I didn't realize you were on.
Because my wife has decided to tell me that we have something we have to do. People have waved at the holly. Holly has waved at the people.
I didn't realize you were on. Sorry.
It's never going to be a problem, baby. What happened was, got this email from the storage unit that said, hey, your card's expired. You got to come in and renew that damn thing. Duh. Well, damn. It happens. So if I can't actually make the whole show, I will apologize right now. Cliff's probably going to be on the boat. We'll Well, get out there far enough that you don't get Wi-Fi or any kind of signal. That way, there's no temptation to get yourself drowned. We know Mrs. Higgins knows where you live and work. If she doesn't approve of you smoking cigars or pipes, and with 6 kids, it's cheaper to keep her.
You say shit like that.
I have been told not to say shit like that. Howdy DDT, happy Friday, happy Friday. I will agree that it is definitely a happy Friday. I'm willing to bet I can probably hold off the wife for all of 45 minutes before we have to go over there.
Just have to take showers, so.
Trying to make it last long enough that I can smoke most of this cigar before she decides that we gotta go. It's really more about the cigar than it is about the show. She doesn't want me smoking the cigar in the truck. I do from time to time anyways.
Yeah, she knows.
Did you hear? She says yes, she knows. I don't keep anything from her. There's no secret here. Officially, the whole world, other than my son and his wife, and probably her family, were second to know that I'm going to end up being a grandfather, because I told her almost immediately. I walked in with one of those ear-to-ear grins that would have been ear-to-ear on an elephant. Yeah, pretty excited over here. Pretty excited. Okay, she's pretty and I'm excited. Does that help? What am I supposed to tell you? You can see this face. The face for radio. So has anybody got anything they need to talk about, want to talk about, would like to talk about? I don't have to monopolize the whole hour. By the way, Ganji, how is the house? I remember you saying that you finally bought a house. Oh, ain't that sweet? Steph loves Skip. Well, we kind of like Skip too. Maybe not as much as Steph, but pretty much everybody seems to like Skip. And if you ever get the chance to meet Steph and Skip, I'm going to tell you right now, take that option. It is well worth your chance. I got to meet him. And I'm actually extremely happy that I did get that chance. What can Brown do to you? Looks like they can drop off a package. I'm gonna grab this before this guy gets way up here. I'll take it. Thanks, sir. I looked up as I stood up. I guess some sweat dripped off of my nose and right onto the ground right here at my feet. Nice and toasty. So let's see, what do we got going on today? We've got a J Mouton auction. It happens in place of Cane Rod's. Cane Rod's getting himself a vacation, and that's fine. Everybody deserves a vacation from time to time. DDT, it would help if we knew what that area was in general. As I've said before, I'm in Houston, more or less. I'm on the south side, almost directly in between Houston and Galveston. Steph, you got to remember, because you are a fan of that team in Missouri, you're not allowed to say Vegas, baby. That could hurt Skip's heart. Because the word baby after a statement of Vegas is cheering for the Raiders. Just win, baby. I appreciate it, though. Always knew Steph had good sense. Go! Ordered pizza. What kind of pizza? Beaumont, Alberta. Just south of Edmonton. Let's go, Oilers! All right, maybe next year. I at least understand about where Edmonton is. Okay, it could be that the wife is from Michigan. She's a Spartan. Don't hold it against her. Pineapple and pepperoni. That's like a Hawaii-Italian. Not quite Hawaiian, which is pineapple and Canadian bacon. Why Canadian bacon? Just don't understand. Howdy, Paul. Now, I will say that up there by where DDT lives, you can do some amazing hunting. If you can get permission from the Canadian government and the licensing and permission to have your firearm there, and you jump through all of the hoops, there's a lot of hoops. But if you jump through all those hoops just right, you can go hunting up in Alberta, Canada, and I am telling you, prime real estate for getting lost in the woods and shooting stuff. Now, I will suggest that you make sure what you're shooting at. The RCMP does not play around when they come across somebody who is poaching or hunting for something that is out of season or anything like that. Trust me, you don't want to play with those guys because they're not going to play with you. Well, they'll play with you, but they ain't going to play nicely. But if you're hunting and you're doing it legal and you've made sure all the little crazy stuff is done, I'm telling you right now, Alberta, Canada is one of the finest chunks of real estate God's ever laid down for hunting. DDT, I will guarantee there are a ton of Texans going north every fall for goose. And when they do get a moose license, I guarantee they do not miss. And, well, there's some deer that y'all have up there that we don't have here in Texas. About the only reason why a Texan wouldn't go to Canada to hunt is if it's for hogs. And mostly because there's no season on hogs here in Texas. We can quite literally shoot them all day long and still never make a dent in the population. I've actually been on a helicopter Well, DDT, that's probably because the Alberta hunting laws are actually, as far as I can tell, they're the best in Canada as far as availability. Now you go over to British Columbia and you try to get one of the hunting licenses there and you're just about out of luck. You will be on a waiting list for forever. Yep, he was a plane and he was dragging one of those signs, but the way he flew right over the top of the house, I couldn't read what the sign said. Otherwise, I'd let y'all know. And of course, if you go out on the East Coast, you almost will never find a hunting license out on the East Coast. Fishing, maybe. But quite literally, just go to the Great Lakes and you can do all the fishing that you could do, and you don't actually have to leave the United States. And that border is technically open on the Great Lakes. You can go back and forth between Canada and the United States on the Great Lakes and nobody's going to say anything. Just make sure you follow the maritime rules. And if a storm comes up and you're on the Great Lakes, find yourself a chunk of land to get on quickly. Storms on the Great Lakes are violent at best. If you don't believe me, just go ask Gordon Lightfoot. He'll sing you his famous song about the Edmund Fitzgerald. Be prepared to sit for a while because, well, it's a long song. Well, heck, looky there. It's almost 30 minutes in on this show. Let's go ahead and take care of this. Bowl call. What are you smoking? What are you smoking it in? Today I am smoking an Oliva G Series Toro. That would be a 6x50. It's considered a natural wrapper, medium body, smooth, not too peppery, just the right kind of thing for outside on a nice hot day. I'm guessing that Mr. Clifton Higgins, because he is loading a truck and he is attempting to drive to the lake, is not about to be smoking at present. Sorry about your luck there, Mr. Higgins. I apologize fully. Carter Hall in your first Molina. Very nice, Steph. Very nice. Hopefully it's cool enough that everybody can enjoy a nice, good quality smoke. Now that we're somewhere in between Canada Day and Independence Day for the United States. Oh, one of the best things about going hunting in Canada, when I pack my rifle, put it in the case, I make sure to pack a full box of cigars. That way, the guide can enjoy some cigars with me. I always seem to lose that full box, though. Kind of on purpose, right? Harvest Moon in a corn cob. Very nice. Now, for those of you who don't actually like a cob, it's okay. You're allowed to not like cobs. But when it gets hot and humid, I find cobs to smoke quite a bit drier than briar, because they have a tendency to absorb more of that moisture. Which means during the summer I do tend to smoke a lot more cobs, just because I don't like that gurgling. And my cobs almost never do, but my briars almost always will. That's not to say that cobs are wrong. That's not to say that cobs are right. That just says that my preference in the hotter, wetter months tends to be cob. And clay pipes are good for that too. But not so much meerschaum. Meerschaum has such a tight pore structure that it doesn't hardly absorb any of the moisture. Whereas a clay pipe will actually absorb quite a bit of the moisture. Steph, you are exactly right. We don't drink water, we breathe it in. And if you're trying to smoke in weather that's this humid, it's pretty much guaranteed to be soggy. No problem, DDT. No problem. We completely understand. Family first, brother. Cliff is driving, so that means that his smoking has come to an end. Probably for the whole weekend. But it's 4th of July weekend and he's headed to the lake, so I'm willing to bet he's still wearing one of them smiles that tells you he's a happy man. I'm also willing to bet that he gets a little fishing in. I know if I'm headed to a lake, I'm getting some fishing in. Whether I've got the license to catch them or not, that's a different story. You just got to remember, if you catch and release, game warden won't say nothing to you. You could sit out there all day long as you release every one of them that comes up. At least here in Texas. Uh-oh, Chad's smoking 2 peppers. So would that be picosa or caliente there, Chad? Oh, very nice, Cliff. Getting that smoke in before the rest of the family's up. Probably with a cup of coffee. Though technically, if it's supposed to be in honor of the 4th of July, it should be with tea. Shorthand for Donald, it's 2 peppers. Which 2? Oh, very nice, DDT. I didn't know that you could get away with it just by saying, yeah, he's 13. Full beard, looks like Chad. He's 13, though. By the way, Chad, how are you doing today? I'm having a marvelous day, personally. Hot black coffee and Jack Daniels. Whoa. I guess with Jack Daniels, you could get the right stuff and have a Long Island iced tea. Just saying. Now, Cliff, did you stop for fancy ice, or is it just one of those places that's got the bag of ice right out there in the big white ice cooler? Uh-oh, slept late. I've done that a time or 3 in my lifetime. I know it'll catch Chad up, though. Here in about an hour, Chad's going to be having himself a nice, good-sized bowl of probably Old Joe Krantz in a cob. Of course, that could be rearranged to Haunted Bookshop in a cob. Chances of him getting out of a Friday without smoking a cob is pretty slim. Of course, with a cob that distinguished, why not? Bags of ice, good man, good man. There's no reason to waste fancy ice on just making sure stuff stays cold. Unless, of course, you got fancy ice there at the house. I don't. Kind of figured Chad would be loading up a nice bowl of something. So, Chad, I'm going to be missing part of your show, live stream, however you'd like to call it. Holly did inform me that we would be going just about as soon as my live stream was completed. Storage unit needs to be paid for. Cards expire from time to time. It happens. That's what happens when you get yourself 3 households worth of stuff and you pack it all into one house. You end up taking the rest of it that you still want to keep to some storage unit and paying forever on it.
When you're ready.
Okay, probably about 20 minutes. Well, that'd be the one that goes, on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Of course, he sings it a little better than I do. Sorry about that. His beard is also better, and well, his hair is quite a bit longer. I'm also willing to bet that if he's smoking something right now, it is probably well known to our friend in Nebraska. Howdy, Martin. How you doing today? Driving and listening? Oh, no, don't drive. Just listen. I told her about 20 minutes. It's really closer to about 25. I have never seen The Littlest Hobo. I don't really watch much TV, though. Mostly because, well, if I've got that much time for free time, I got plenty enough free time to be doing other things. Whether it be carving a pipe or knitting, crocheting. I mean, I might turn on something that's sports related if I know for a fact there's something sports on that I really want to watch. Whether it be soccer or baseball, basketball, football, auto racing, sailboats. Okay, so Lassie as a hobo. That would be fairly entertaining, I could guess. And, well, you know, it had good music. One of Chad's 2 favorites, country and western. By the way, Chad, I saw that joke coming from a mile off yesterday. I was hoping Mike knew enough to not answer. Nope, he walked right into it. You were put up to that? Sure you were. I'm probably one of those crazy Texans. Never really much cared for country and western music. Now, there's a few songs. Don't get me wrong. I mean, some of it's pretty good. And howdy, Everett. How you doing today? In other words, you're not going to throw somebody under the bus. I hear you, Chad. I hear you. So we got 2 Canadians, technically 2 Californians, technically 2 Texans, 1 guy from up there somewhere around Michigan, and 1 guy who is driving somewhere off in the great state of Arkansas. Not a bad little crowd. We had a few more last week. Just a few. I think it's because everybody wanted to win Mike's stuff. Speaking of that, y'all got to remember, show up. Oh, that's right. And 1 from Georgia. 3 Canadians. We like Canada. Oh, that's right. And 1 from England, which of course makes sure that this is still a multinational location. Oh, I didn't know Nick was from Canada. All right, then make that 2 from England. And oh, there's Mike. So we've got 4 from Canada. Y'all scruffy Americans are outnumbered. By the way, howdy Sharon. Glad to see you in today. Well, Everett, if Everett's beard counts as an extra person, then so does Chad's. My beard obviously doesn't count. Very nice, Phil. You can see Canada. I know that's true, too. Having been up there where Phil is, I know that you can see Canada pretty clearly from wherever he lives. So let's remind ourselves real quick while we've got this opportunity. Spread the word about the Breyer Report. All the news that is news that's actually worth looking into as far as the YTPC goes is going to be at one point in time, sooner or later, on the Breyer Report. And it also happens to be that Phil's trying to get in trouble with the ATF for dealing with fireworks. New York is not really a gunpowder friendly state. I will say that I've been all over California. And I don't remember any of it. Well, that's not exactly true. Good man, Phil. Good man. I have never been to Weed, California, but I have been to Bakersfield, and I have actually seen the sign for cannabis. It's a street name. Seriously. There's a street named Cannabis in Bakersfield since before I was born. Just saying. Technically, I guess Michigan shares probably the longest border of all of the northern states. Being that there's spots out there that are far enough from land that a ship's captain can get you married. Got to remember, Phil was well traveled, above and below. The waves, that is. He might try to deny it, but those of us who know the truth on Phil, we know. I've been out there on the East Coast quite a bit. Up north of Bahaba. Didn't lose anything up there that I wanted back. But being able to sit out on the dock and eat lobster rolls right off the ships, boats, lobster ships, whatever you want to call it. Good times, good times. Two hours in a plane. Good Lord. Two hours going north in Canada and you're pretty much going south again. Mystic, Connecticut. Actually, I have been there. I've also been to Rhode Island, just in case anybody needs to wave at Tony or Tony, both of them from Rhode Island. I will tell you, they've got the fanciest post office on the planet. Right there in Rhode Island. Yep, chowder, lobster. They don't say the letter R. I haven't been everywhere. There's the whole continent of Africa that I almost got to miss. Depending upon how you view the Middle East. I'm pretty certain that anybody who goes into Chad's kitchen is getting run out of there by Marcy, including Chad. Is what it is. I'm guessing that Chad's claiming he does his best work on the porch. Eight minutes until Chadisms. So let's remind ourselves what's going on tonight. We've got Chad coming up right after this. Chad runs a 3-hour show. Once Chad gets off, tonight, instead of Cane Rod Piper, we will be having a live auction from Mr. J. Mouton. Y'all dig deep. This is for LaDon Mott's family. Or at least dig as deep as you can. I'm sure that anything that is taken in and sent on to LaDon's family is going to be greatly appreciated. We're also going to be having Martin at Over a Pipe. He'll be doing his normal Friday show. And we need to get him above 60 viewers and commenters tonight. It's pretty much, it's tutu time. Unlike Chad's video, which wants it to be 4-4. That's my birthday, by the way. 4-4. And then, let's see, tomorrow we are going to have Steph. She'll be doing her Saturday chat. It's always a good time. I know that everybody should be wanting to go see that. Howdy, Jeff. How's it going, sir? And let's see. Then there's the Virtual Pipe Club. All Briared Up normally does a show on Saturday, and it's just Chris. He does a show often enough on Saturday. Sunday, of course, we've got Steve and Kathy. Can't forget Steve and Kathy. So there's a lot of good entertaining stuff coming up. And then, of course, it starts over on Monday. If you're wanting a full listing of everything that you really need to see, I suggest signing up to the Briar Reports newsletter. It comes out every Tuesday, and it's in times that you're still going to catch all the live shows that are worth watching. About the only thing that's not mentioned on the Briar Report is Chad's Zoom meetings. Oh, that's right. No virtual pipe club this particular Saturday. That is right. Thank you for reminding me, bud. I appreciate it. By the way, howdy, sir. So there's a lot going on. A lot to be informed of and keep track of. It's getting to the point where I don't remember everything. So if you definitely want something mentioned, especially in here, go ahead, throw it in there. I appreciate all of it. Not a problem, bud. That's the great part about tailgating. It's just a good chance to hang out and chat and talk about the issues that we want to talk about. Mention places that we should probably want to go to and stuff we want to do and see, and hopefully this COVID crap will end soon enough and we can get on with our lives as normalized as they might ever be. That's right. Jose is going to be Sunday at 2:30 Pacific time. For those of you who have missed out on Jose's Sunday show, it's a great time. I miss it a lot, mostly because it's my little bit of time that I get to spend with my family. And as I've always said, family first. But when there's really nothing going on here, I almost always guaranteed to catch it. Oh, that's right. Jeff does his Sunday show at 11 p.m. That is East Coast time. 10 p.m. on, or no, that's 11 p.m. Central time, isn't it? So that's midnight on the East Coast, and I guess that's what, 9 o'clock on Pacific time. So we're all doing a lot of stuff. It's really great to see. I mean, as I've said many a time, you go back a year ago and there was Thursdays and Fridays. That was it. And now there's something every day of the week. There's always something going on. So there's almost always someone to talk to or at least listen to. During all this lockdown, you know, keeps you from going stir crazy while you're stuck at your own house. Those same four walls start to weigh on you a little bit. Come on in. Chat with us. Have a good time. Ooh, so 1 minute out. I'd like to remind y'all all first, take care of yourselves and each other. Let's do the best we can on that. We're doing really good with that. Let's do better if we can. And of course, as always, I'd like y'all to remind yourselves, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Here in just a second, Chad's going to be jumping on. I'll at least try to keep it going until then. I'm pretty sure he's out of here. He probably gave me the Irish goodbye, which is, you know, shamrock and wave. Oh, it's hot. It is just plain old steamy hot around here. And I am looking forward to the rest of this evening, personally. Anybody else got anything they want mentioned or talked about? Good chance. Throw it up here quick. All right. Well, Chad's thing has gone live. At least it says it's gone live. So we're going to jump over there. Y'all take care, and I will see y'all, well, over there for just a couple of minutes. Talk to you soon. Y'all take care. Bye now.